find meaning in living.
Yes.
Not a specific meaning, but just living in meaning.
To experience.
To experience, to love, to connect. Literally, everything that encompasses what it means to be alive.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think what happens is when we die, it's like we're skyrocketed back to home, and then from home we're skyrocketed back into being born through the same vessel.
Yes.
Because again, you say time doesn't exist.
Yes.
And you relive your life, and in different moments when you have a choice, or you make a different choice, that's a new path of your life in your same vessel, in your same soul.
I don't think the vessel's the same.
I think the
So
vessel's the same.
can I interject? Can I say my theory now? It builds on yours.
But again, this is what I think. It's either that
Or
like
not.
you said, sorry. Or it's either that or the vessel isn't the same. I agree, but I don't know the answer to that one.
I don't know.
But what I do believe in the aspect of reincarnation being one or the other.
Like straight up, I have lived lives where like
Me.
I have lived lives where I've died. I was killed. I had kids. I was married. I love somebody, and I lived that.
I think for me, like again, I've experienced that too, and I recall seeing you guys, like especially you and Mike that one night.
Fuck yeah.
But the thing is, I saw you guys as you guys.
Yeah.
Like in your physical forms, you were the same.
Yeah, same.
And I couldn't. It's not like I could sit there and look at myself in the mirror at that time and see if I was in the same vessel. So this is why my bias is that I think we come back in the same vessels.
Well, brother, that I experienced the same thing.
Right.
Where I saw you guys for who you are. Dude, I remember just literally feeling like the end of the world coming. Like I was dying, and every human concept was farther to reach. Like I tried to keep them, human concepts, and they just keep on going away. And slowly my vision started to blur because I was too scared to fucking close my eyes, and all I could see was your hands. And you guys reached out, and then straight up, the song "Gold" by Eden was playing, and all of a sudden he's like, something about breathing, like, and I'm like, oh.
Am I breathing?
Am I breathing? And then, it shot me into that. Like that was the last concept of anything I had. Was am I breathing? The song ticked it, and then all of a sudden I was blasted into this place that felt more familiar than this reality. And in this place, the answers were being preached to my soul in a way that transcends three-dimensional space. Yeah. And I was learning the purpose of existence.
Yep, sounds familiar.
And it wasn't a defined thing. There was no definite nature to it, but it was everything. It's the only thing.
Regardless, the one thing I am sure about is home.
Yeah.
I just don't know what happens after. Or if there is an after, or if it's something I can perceive.
Here's what the Tibetan monks say. Tibetan monks say dying is a process. The brain has an endogenous DMT experience when death happens. Right.
And there's a gap of what, 8 minutes or so?
20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Up to 20 minutes. And in this 20 minutes, the DMT is transferring the energy that is your consciousness back home.
Yeah, that's
because
what I
energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred.
I know.
And this being is operated by a soul.
Right. This vehicle is being operated by a resource, a power.
This flesh puppet.
This sack of meat.
That's another good way to say it. But to expand on, like, for example, when you experience deja vu, like, you've done that before, it's because you have done that before.
It's because you have.
You've gone down the path before, and it's just a reminder that you've gone down a path you've already done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So when you live your life and you've gone so long without a moment of deja vu, or, for example, I've talked to people, they had, like, deja vu, and the last time they had it was 40 years ago. Like, for example, I talked to my dad, I'm like, when's the last time you had that? He's like, dude, I don't even know.
I get it quite frequently.
I don't get deja vu anymore.
I do.
I think this is the first time I've become aware and awakened, personally.
I've only had it twice, and I can't even remember, but I remember.
What does it feel like for you?
Like you remember.
It felt very trippy.
Right. It's a surreal experience.
It brings your mind to that same place of oneness, but for like a split second. It's
but
very
again,
graspable.
In my bias, I don't know if that is the answer, but I think that's a correlation until I experience it. I think that is one of the
Have you ever experienced it?
Deja vu, yeah, but I don't experience it anymore. I haven't experienced it.
I get it quite frequently, believe it or not.
How do I put it? I get the ESP ability.
Yeah.
But that's a future sight thing, so it's not the same as deja vu. Because deja vu is just a path that you've been to, whereas my thing was it was somewhere I've never been, but like I'd seen in my dreams, and I'd been there in my reality in my dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know if that's. I don't believe it to be deja vu. I believe it to be different, but no, I haven't had it in I don't know how long. But I believe that this is the first time. This is the first cycle where I've awakened.
Yeah.
Where like my third eye is no longer. My connection to home is established.
I don't think this is the first time I've experienced and this isn't the first time my vessel figured out we're playing a game of John Doe, that we're God, just pretending that we don't know that we're God.
No, I don't mean that. I mean
this is.
I mean you're aware, not just being aware. I mean
Yes.
like consciousness and
Yes.
being knowing like you have
The life
answer.
I had before, I know I was woke because ever since I was a kid, I was much like Mike in the sense where everything felt wrong. And I questioned fucking everything, but I was very secluded.
Well, no, it's
I
no different.
I didn't express it to teachers, but in my
Right.
mind, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Why do
But
I
I
have to
don't
work?
see. I experienced the same thing, and again, that's what's led me to now. But I don't know. How do I put it? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that one. That's one of those things where I don't know positively. That's an answer I don't
All
have.
we can really do is be.
Right, and I don't think that's an answer I'll
Philosophers
necessarily
or
ever
whatever.
have. I can only skepticize on it because
Yeah.
I don't know. But and again, that goes with my theory on reincarnation and what I believe it to be.
Can I say my theory now?
Yes, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so to build on John's theory,
Okay.
so I have the same thing. You believe in multiverses and everything?
I believe that they're multiverses, not in, how do I put it? Yes, but not in a spatial sense or a dimensional sense, but more of in a cycle sense.
Okay, so I do as well.
In our perception sense, being
So-
spiritual.
I have a theory that every like planet, galaxy, Earth, whatever it is in these multiverses, and there's like infinite numbers of Earths,
Yes.
different types of Earths, but they play out every single possibility and decision that every one of us could have made. And to add on that, while you say that every vessel is the same, I think that they could be different because if we
Yes.
played out
What
different,
if we're...
hold on,
That's
John,
crazy.
hold on.
Go ahead.
If I played out every single choice and decision that I made, our lives and the world could be totally different.
Yes,
we
we're
could be
fine.
blue like Pandora people. Think about it. You could be a different fucking vessel because we wouldn't be making the
That's
same
what I
choices
say.
that we are making on this one.
Why
You're
would-
assuming we make
why
the same
would life-
choices.
Why would our self simulation simulate the same thing over and over again?
Absolutely.
It's trying to experience to the greatest extent.
Well, our vessels are shaped by how our surroundings were shaped.
Absolutely. That's
And
why I'm saying they're
evolution.
subject to change.
Yes.
So yes, that's why I'm saying I don't know. I think that it's either. I
See,
think the concept
I
of the transfer is the same. I just don't know if it's in this vessel or it's
So what
in
did
a
I
different vessel,
What
a
did I
different
make
vehicle.
you guys think about that?
So what you made me think about is the fact that this universe likes to play itself out.
Mm-hmm.
It likes to experience.
Yep.
Everything.
And it's interesting. It's like okay, what's beyond that? Well, there could be nothing, right? We could be the projector and the
Look at it like
the
this.
station, right? Or we could be part of some advanced civilization having a fucking universe simulation, and it's like we've learned more than we can process. Now we have to run these simulations
Yeah.
to test if any of these individuals can figure out more about our universe. We get to the
kinda
point
like Hang the
where
DJ
we
in Black
no
Mirror.
longer physically have a body. We get so advanced that we are the stream of consciousness that we can punch into on psychedelics. And at the point we are multi-dimensional beings. We are the beings that you see in these DMT experiences, and we are running these simulations from that area. We are running these simulations to understand more about existence.
That's pretty deep.
Yes, because I don't think we'll ever be able to travel to planets light years away because we physically can't.
We need to be able to travel past light
And we
speed,
can't,
and it's
and-
impossible.
and-
For that, you'd have to transcend matter. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So I believe the only way our next step is through integrations with computers and eventually simulating
Data transfer.
straight up, and our consciousness will
So pretty much teleportation.
yes.
But again, that's light speed. That's
Yes.
impossible. You'd have
But
to
we'd have-
disassociate
we'd
matter
we'd
and
have no
travel.
physical matter, right? There's no physical matter. The soul.
Oh, you're right.
The soul's
Yes.
not physical matter.
Which is why you bring up technology.
Yes.
That's a good point.
And I've had thoughts about it. Duncan Trussell actually brings this up.
I've been
on
starting
the
to listen.
podcast, and he's like, yeah, it's like, think about it. What if this? So if this cycle is going on and on and on, what are the chances that one time as humans we all
We've already
banded
done that.
together? We banded together, right? And now we've separated ourselves from this simulation.
That's pretty wild.
And that's where you're seeing these entities. That's why people say they
Think
see
of-
this motherly love, this fatherly love. What is it? Well, maybe
With
that's
other
the
people?
energy of you know.
With other people, Tyler?
What do you mean?
What do you mean by this motherly, fatherly love?
Whoa, I just had a crazy thought.
During the
too.
psychedelic experience.
Think about all these movies that you watch where everybody's trying to leave Earth when Earth dies.
Yes.
Being the answer that, oh, we have to go find another planet. But what if it was the opposite thing? Where again, everybody transfers into one machine
Yes.
or whatever it may be, some supercomputer where everybody's consciousness becomes one space, and then this happens. And that's the cycle.
Well, yeah.
And that's the simulation.
Yes. What if that's
The Matrix.
I've had that thought before too. It's like as soon as we physically become the singularity, the cycle restarts. As soon as we
Holy
as a species,
fuck, that's crazy.
as soon
Wait,
as
sorry,
we as a
wait, say that
species
again?
sit around in a circle and literally.
Well, that is
connect.
the goal, right?
Connect.
Singularity is the goal.
Yes.
Everybody, it's
Well, that's what all technology is trying to imitate. What is internet? What is internet? Internet
Trying to
is
connect us all.
compilation of data becoming
it
one.
is trying
Yeah.
to take everything and put it into one thing.
Yeah.
We are trying to simulate what we are, and eventually
Holy fuck, that's crazy.
we are
You're
either
right.
going to
Oh.
fail, and this simulation has probably failed 100,000 fucking billion times, but I believe we have gone. I believe that is very rare that our beings enter the space where we can freely travel, and we become these seeding planets. And
That really makes psychedelics a cheat code.
Yes.
Like I said, it's a key.
all right, like I'm
Maybe
a
that is.
philosopher, and
It's a seed.
I've had
The
many ideas
Eucharist.
at home,
It's
a
right?
seed,
But
my
it's
guy.
like, oh, spores
computer
can,
sense, it's a
spores can
seed.
survive in space, right?
That's wild.
Think about it,
What's
right?
that?
One a spores, mushroom spores.
Mushroom spores can survive in space. I agree. They're
Crazy.
super intelligence.
Yes, they're more
And when you
intelligent
eat them,
than
I
we are.
believe now that, and I've been saying this a lot lately. When you eat them, you're eating a super intelligence,
Yes.
and it's coercing and acting in your body.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same thing with LSD.
And you
Same
get
thing with
you get the fungal effect,
Mm-hmm.
which is
Which is
again,
the
it's
drug
toxic in a
mess.
sense to us.
It's yeah.
But there's more to it than just the biological, because again, there's also a chemical, and the chemical even goes further than that. Because again, DMT being what Tyler said about the Tibetan monks, there's a deeper root to it. And again, if people view DMT to be chemical, hello,
We're all chemicals. We're fucking made up of
we're
them.
all made of biological and chemical matter.
We're listen. We are a droplet in a massive ocean of consciousness, but we're also that mass.
We're the ocean. We're the drop in the ocean, but we're also the ocean.
Yes, precisely.
I don't know. I don't have the answers because there's so many other things that complicate and contradict even what we're saying now.
Of course. These are just
These are just ideas and
We're
thoughts.
We're just
And I say that in the
philosophers.
sense of, like, again, we've also had the theory that, you know, there are more than one home or one singular built consciousness, right? Like, think
Yes.
about a different universe having a different, like, area of consciousness of their own.
Yes. If consciousness resides,
As, again, us,
As-
our one may be different than a different being's one.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Yes.
saying from me
Because
to you, but
what's-
saying, like,
what's
what we
stopping-
view to be aliens.
what's
Yeah.
stopping the whole simulation to replicate itself somewhere else?
Right.
Be like, it's happening here.
Right.
Here's
And it's
another one.
impossible to think that, again, assuming that, again, I don't want to be the conspiracy theorist here, but assuming that space is real,
Yes.
okay, and knowing what we believe to know about it, being that it's infinite,
Yes.
we are not the only ones. There's no question. Because, again, we're shaped by environment, and to think that there are other planets that went through the same process of a cell becoming two, and two becoming four, and then billions of years becoming us,
Mm-hmm.
or becoming, and again, we're shaped, we could very well have wings right now.
That's what I mean.
But there's a reason we don't.
There's a reason we
because
don't.
our world and time and
It's the way we evolved.
space, the way
It's
it
the way this
occurred,
evolved, yeah.
It's the way this
Well, literally
particular thing
everything-
evolved.
everything-
Every little thing from one dinosaur flying here, one
Yeah.
dinosaur walking
Well, dude,
around
if
here.
But who's to
every
say we
little
couldn't
thing.
have wings on another
That's my point. Or
yeah.
have a different skin color.
Or different
Our
skin
skin
color.
color is affected.
less fingers, be taller?
Right.
Who the fuck
It's
knows?
all survival of the fittest.
Who's to say our
wa-
cerebral
it
cortex is on the
became-
outside rather
Right.
than
It
the inside?
became a matter of us evolving to this state. This was what became optimal until, and not even, because to be honest with you, we're not in the most optimal form.
I find we're very flawed.
There are animals that are more optimal than us at this point. Yes. Again, we've diluted to a point.
Dolphins
because we started to become.
Saved people's lives in tsunamis.
The primitive started. The mind started. How do I put it? The mind became a different thing than the primitive aspect, and the mind was able to encompass and encircle us outside the primitive. While the primitive evolved, we evolved, and we became. We isolated ourselves, and now we're not at the top of the food chain like we once were.
No, we're no longer in balance with nature, brother.
Right. We're apart from
we're trying to
that aspect.
Capitalize it and take it for our own and overthrow it. Like, I found out the other day they're cutting down parts of the rainforest.
They are.
For fucking soybean farms for the goddamn cattle.
You know how many forests have been fucking destroyed for the purpose of resources?
That's our lungs,
think about hemp, again, another perfect example, hemp being another answer that, again, I have a lot of theories. And again, I don't know the answers because I don't know if I'll ever be granted the chance to talk to anybody of this world that is the upper beings.
Bro,
but again, I don't think I want to because they're not on our side, number one.
Bro, let's do DMT and talk to the aliens.
We'll do it after we're done our world travel.
I believe in interdimensional and extra-dimensional beings, right? Interdimensional being who we talk to at home or beyond home or whatever the case may be.
See, obviously there's physical entities that are on other planets.
I don't think that,
but I don't think there's any planets that can interact with us yet. I don't think there's other alien.
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Because
I think they're among us, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
Possibly.
And the fact, and there's always the possibility that we're the aliens too.
Why in 2 million years did our brain evolve quicker than anything's ever evolved in this entire existence?
It's
we were gifted with something.
Yes.
That's the only explanation. Because.
Well, what if that information was interdimensional, brother? What if that?
But presented in a physical form, for example, being mushrooms. There you go.
Yes.
I understand, Tyler. I know,
yes.
but. Again,
Super
that's an extra dimensional being gifted. Okay, maybe I should explain this better. Extra dimensional being physical in this reality. That doesn't mean those extra dimensional beings don't have an interdimensional understanding. Right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What if there are beings that can transcend both? And what if those are the beings that are able to transcend matter and are able to travel?
Interesting thought.
Well, think about it. If our whole point, and one of our most profound understandings of psychedelics, is understanding that there's more within and also more outside, and you're trying to manipulate and perceive your vessel through your internal thought and your internal self, the self that those cannot see that is not matter. Right?
Yeah.
You're trying to talk between the two. Almost like, again, you're trying to become one with yourself, as people say. And to become one with yourself means not only having your physical and your ego, but your inner being non-matter. What if that's what's considered the enlightened state? Is that that state in between where you're able to transcend between both?
Well, apparently that's what the Buddha could do.
Right.
The Buddha could
And that's why the Buddha died, physically. Let's say.
Yes.
In a moment chosen.
He chose.
That makes
Tibetan monks do the same thing, brother.
Right.
Tibetan monks know. They're like, okay, I'm dying today. They walk up a fucking cliff, they meditate, and then they die. They go on their own terms. How beautiful is that?
That makes a lot of sense.
Timothy Leary, for example, takes LSD. He knew he was dying. He takes LSD, and you hear him in this video.
I gotta watch it. So I haven't watched
Dying
it.
to know again, or dying to know. Sorry, and he's like, why not?
But
And then his heart stopped. He died.
here's another thing too. Everything around us is made out of matter, and as
Yes.
people that believe in the concept of energy and attraction and repulsion,
Vibration.
things are meant to be things are meant to be in your life, and things are meant to be out of your life. Again, that's attraction and repulsion.
Yes.
I believe in the universal signal theory for sure. and that's matter. Again, when people talk about luck, that's attraction.
Yes.
Those are particles, matter, interacting with your matter and causing a positive effect.
Yeah.
No different than gambling. It's the same thing. It's perception. Gambling being perception that somebody values money. Somebody that's looking to acquire money for whatever it means. It's a luck.
Bro,
it's a luck
you
factor.
know where I had a precognition at? It was at the casino when we walked by that guy. I literally
What did you experience? What did the moment
I
feel
experienced that guy was gonna win, and I was right.
like? Oh.
We walked by that guy with the new machine, and literally a thought that was not innate
Popped in your head.
popped in my head.
How often does that happen on me? That happens a lot for me.
That happens.
That's
to
what
me
that's
maybe-
what I usually call it, precognition.
Yeah.
I call it. It's either precognition to me or what was the other one I called it? No, it is precognition. I'm stupid. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the ESP.
You know,
yeah.
I have it normally around my use of psychedelics. That's one thing.
I was having it profoundly before, and then after it enhanced it,
Yes.
and then
Also, ever since I had that
Now it's
lucid
been-
dream
now it's
where I
been
straight
quiet.
up fell into my bed.
yeah.
But yeah, because you've been on fucking Sprin and all that bullshit. That's what.
Well, it's still actually it happened to me the other day when we were walking through the mall, and I was kind of stunned because it hadn't happened to me in like 6 months, and I stopped. I just stopped in place because it's not that I perceived, it's just I knew I had that switch go off in my brain, that
Where
white
it's just,
like a
it's more
flashbang.
real.
I describe it like it's a flashbang that goes off in my vision, in my eyes, in my brain, and I know instantly.
It's like a blink.
Yes, but it's a white blink for me. Like literally, I describe it like a flashbang.
For me, it's like, you know how you.
It's a stunning
You're not
flashbang, a stun
physically-
grenade.
You
Like
know,
it's literally.
You know, during the psychedelic experience, how you don't. Like I say, I physically live these lifetimes.
Yes.
I wasn't visualizing it.
Neither was
I
I.
felt it.
I felt, yeah.
That's what precognition is like.
Right, and that's
You
exactly what it was
visualize
for
what
me.
you're about to see. You feel it.
It became, again, because I'm walking around, it's not like I haven't seen any of this before. I have seen everything. Again, I've been to the mall 100 million times, and then I'm walking, and it was just a moment where it was bang. And I know the moment because I've experienced it so many times in my life.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Ever since I was 7 years old. Ever since my NDE.
Mm-hmm. Brother.
That was a crazy thing psychedelics brought
jumped
me
off
back
a
to,
2-story
man.
house onto a trampoline, and I missed the
No,
trampoline.
what about the story about
in the
the
hospital?
Was it the, no, what
It
about
was
the
a-
abandoned building?
Yeah, it was a great
was-
hospital, brother.
Yeah, remember
It
that
was a
one?
great
Ooh.
hospital. Dude, I saw like a godly figure. Like my mind personified my life intervening with itself in a very strange way. Dude, and that fucking thing, the sleep paralysis fucker, that thing haunted me. The last time I saw it was after one of the nights we did mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah.
Came back to visit, huh?
Yeah, it was just like in between two houses as we were driving, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh shit, nigga, that was crazy.
That's wild. But yeah, that was another thing psychedelics crazily brought back to me. Realizing that the whole precognition thing started when I was 7. After that NDE.
Mm-hmm.
And being that 7's my lucky number and 7 is a universal